Hatchlings, it's DragonFeather, and welcome back to day 7 of our 31 days of Samhain. For today, we will be going over celebrating the harvest and ways that you can celebrate the harvest and what that even really means. So if you guys are interested for more info than I will provide in this video, and for a more in-depth explanation, don't forget to check out the post linked below made by one of the Hatchlings in the Hatchling Clan that goes more in depth about celebrating the harvest. Why do we celebrate the harvest? For modern day witches, celebrating the harvest isn't something that was as essential as it used to be for our ancestors. Celebrating the harvest for our ancestors was a vital part of life, and they had to focus so much on being connected with the land and planting their crops in time and knowing where to plant their crops and how much of it to plant in order to survive the winter, because that was usually what made or break their survival, was being able to feed themselves, and oftentimes many people did starve in the colder months. Food wasn't as readily available as it is now back then. They couldn't just go to the grocery store and buy whatever fruit they wanted or whatever veggies they wanted or mac and cheese and like frozen dinners. They couldn't do that. They had to make it all themselves. So that's why celebrating the harvest is such an ancient tradition, because it was such an essential part of the human experience and a part of survival, and something that was very deeply rooted in survival. And when we celebrate together, it was kind of a joint group effort to harvest food and to plant food and to make sure that everybody in their areas were going to be fed. Each person celebrates the harvest for a different reason, I'm sure. But it's really important to focus on the reasons why we're celebrating the harvest and the intentions behind it, so we can better understand why we're doing what we're doing, and to connect with ourselves and with the ancestors as well. This tradition is very much so rooted in with our ancestors, and that's why a way that you could possibly celebrate the harvest is by offering what you may have planted, and now you have harvested it, and you can offer this to your ancestors on the ancestor altar that we made. Before I get into some harvest festivity ideas, I wanted to go over some questions to answer before you decide to celebrate the harvest. So the first question is, what are you thankful for this autumn? And this autumn, I'm so thankful for the Hatchling Clan. Like, I know that's probably super cheesy, but I am so thankful for every single one of you guys who participates in the Hatchling Clan and who helps everyone grow and learn and share their ideas and just goof around sometimes and just being festive and magical in general. Everyone there is so open-minded and so knowledgeable, and it's a really rich place full of wonderful people who have honestly changed my life. And don't want to get emotional, but I'm serious. I'm so thankful for you guys, and I'm just so grateful that I have the opportunity to create these videos for you and to provide a place that we can all connect together. It just, it gives me life, you guys. So the next question is, what is your favorite festive treat? And by far it's pumpkin pie, and it's just pumpkin pie. And if you can find it, vegan pumpkin spice hot chocolate. I had some with a friend last year. It was so good, but they lived in Washington and I haven't been able to find it where I live currently. So, but yeah, pumpkin pretty much anything is just so good. So the last question is, have you celebrated the harvest before? If yes, what did you do? If no, would you like to this year? So I usually celebrate the harvest as Thanksgiving, and I have done this in my past and still do so with family today, and we usually go around the table and all say something that we're thankful for. This is how we celebrate the harvest, and sometimes, depending on which side of the family I'm celebrating with, my grandparents will actually, you know, harvest their crops from their garden and use those to cook us food, and that is just so rad and so amazing, because it's like vegetables and crops and food that they worked for and they gave life to and they harvested themselves. It creates this entire different connection with what you're eating. But yeah, I definitely want to change it up this year. I want to have more of a traditional, like a traditional witchy celebration of the harvest, if you will. And I think that it's a lot of fun to have multiple Thanksgivings. I kind of feel like pagans have 3 Thanksgivings. You know, Lammas, Mabon, and Samhain. That's just me. I definitely have done it before, but I am interested in trying new ways to celebrate the harvest. Some harvest festivities that you can try are going fruit picking, creating a seasonal recipe, leaving an offering to your ancestors, reflect on the previous season and give thanks, donate to a food bank or a soup kitchen, gather or plant seeds for the next year, and practice mindful or meditative eating. And these are all really fun things that you can try, and I definitely want to go fruit picking this year. I used to do that all the time when I was a kid with my cousins. We would go up to Oregon for Thanksgiving or for family reunions, and where my grandparents lived at the time was a very wild place. It was very much secluded in nature. There was like only 5 properties on like dozens of acres of land, probably more than that, like a lot of land. And it was so wild, and everything was just like there was trees everywhere. It was so green, like every little bit of that place was just covered in wildlife. And the trees were so tall and all of that, and we used to go berry picking, and we would bring the berries home, and my grandmother would bake us pies out of it, and it's just my childhood. It's just right in my childhood. After you have decided how you'll celebrate the harvest, and once you have celebrated the harvest, here are some questions for you to answer when you're done. First one is, how did you choose to celebrate the harvest and why? Well, for me personally, I think that the best way to celebrate the harvest is by collecting things that you planted during the spring. And unfortunately, the things that I planted during the spring have died, but I have savored a few of the leaves that I wanted to offer to my guardians and my ancestors. And just, you know, haven't had the greatest green thumb in the world, but I'm trying, you know. I really want to get better at growing my own food and cooking my own food. And my favorite way to celebrate the harvest is by sharing my harvest with my loved ones. So the next question is, did your celebrations help you feel more connected to the season? Why or why not? Absolutely. Whenever I celebrate the harvest, or I just am thankful for all the things that I have obtained in this year, I do feel more connected to autumn. I feel like autumn time in general is a very, very prominent time to be thankful, because we're starting to lose the leaves that were so very brilliant green during the summer and springtime, and now we're moving toward the darker times, which for some may be seen as a time of scarcity. For those reasons, it's really important for us to be thankful for the things that we do have, for we may not have all the things that we need in the darker times to come, but no fear, we do have things, and we are blessed, and we do have plentiful blessings, and it's really important to express gratitude for that. And the last question is, will you repeat your celebrations next year? Why or why not? Absolutely. Next year, I really want to plant a magical herb garden in spring and actually tend to it during the year and really try and get connected with earth, because I've always struggled connecting with herbs, and my first introduction to working with herbs was cannabis, and from there I've kind of wanted to like expand, and I really want to grow basil, especially for attracting basilisks and offering to my dragon guardians. And I want to plant this magical herb garden not only so I can connect with the seasons, but so I can use it in spell work, so I can use it as offerings, so I could use it in food or kitchen magic, just so I can use these plants in ways that I've never really practiced before, because I'm really a fan of trying to challenge myself to do new things. And as I might try and celebrate the same way, I'll definitely try new ways as I continue as well, because I think it's always good to try new things, and it's always good to find new ways to be grateful and to celebrate our harvests. So that's pretty much all I have for you for this video. Like I said, if you're interested in a more in-depth post that goes more into detail about celebrating the harvest, please click the link down below to a post in the Hatchling Clan that was made by one of the Hatchlings. And it's really awesome, and I'm learning so much from you guys, and I'm pretty sure I said that like 20 times in this video already, so I hope that you're interested in checking it out over in the Hatchling Clan. Thank you for spending some of your day with me today. I absolutely love it when you guys decide to watch my videos and like it and comment, and it just means the world to me, and I love doing this for you guys, and I love spreading the love and light and knowledge about the changing of the seasons, especially when it comes to autumn. I'm just like so in tune with autumn this year. I'm just loving it. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sending you endless love and positive vibes always. So much love and light to you always. But until next time, stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky. Freaky little hatchlings. Blessed be, and bye. And it's funny that you think that I'm different when we're both made of water. It's funny that you think that I'm different when we're both made